FORA.tv. The world is thinking.
So, see, the 15 to 20% premium we did do a lot of testing before we launched in terms of what people's willingness to pay was. And it is, natural ingredients are more expensive. That's just the way things are. And so we need to drive profit for our company. And so we needed to make sure that we were balancing those things, making it priced closely enough to the traditional products that she was already buying, but making sure that we had the right profit for the company. And we wanted to make sure that we were mainstreaming green cleaning, and so that's why it was really important to us to keep it as close as possible to what she was already buying. And then in terms of the question about in this economy, we actually did some consumer work really recently that we were asking these consumers, what choices are you making differently in this economy? What things are you giving up that you didn't think you would have to give up? And it wasn't a huge number of consumers, but every single consumer knew someone that had been laid off or had a family member that had been laid off. And these were consumers from all over the country. But because they had decided to incorporate green activity in their lives, it was something that was really important to them because they'd already started making these steps, and so it was now part of their priority list. And they weren't willing to give up this action because it was important to them and their family. And so to them, it was a money thing too, kind of, because paying 50 cents more for a cleaner every 3 months was okay for them. That was a trade-off they were willing to make. They're more concerned about the price of gas. That was something they had to buy every week, and that was the kind of thing that was really driving their decision making. It wasn't these things that had entered into the top 10 things they still needed to make sure they were doing for their family.
Understand. Has anybody else seen any research or, you can talk a little bit about paying a premium or how customers are attracted to this or not?
Well, I definitely think that there is, a green awakening, and a lot of people are on a learning curve. From what I know on the research, they know we're in some type of ecological crisis, that we need to change our ways. So the awareness is there, and a lot of people are focused on the action. And I think as people who do the marketing, it's really up to us to make that relevant to them. I don't think it's relevant to tell people this is how many cars you've taken off the road, or this is how many tons of carbon you've saved. For me, as someone who's an environmentalist, it's like that doesn't even speak to me. What does that mean, how many cars are taken off the road? It really has to be related to internally, what difference is that making in my life? And what I know from the Flex Your Power research is when we a couple years ago did a series of campaigns on climate change, is that people were really concerned was a motivator was how this was going to impact their children. What was their legacy? How they were creating a meaningful change and being part of something larger. So it's really up to us to think about how to spin this, to increase the number of consumers who are taking action, to spin it in meaningful ways.